Welcome to Brunch with Brian. I'm missing my sign. So I don't have my sign, but a couple things to talk about today. The football season started. So that was exciting last night for you football fans, and it was a really good game. As you can see, it was Tom Brady and Dak Prescott playing each other. Really good game. And so that was fun. And it was a fun game to watch. And so football season is back. So what does that remind me of? It reminds me of getting those competitive juices going. If you are a somewhat competitive person, this is this field, this real estate investing, home investing, you can use that to your advantage. You always want to do better than what you did before. And I don't necessarily want you, I don't know. I mean, if it really motivates you and you go through the quick start training and you keep in touch, which you should always be networking, or you go through some of our great, awesome training, I want you to stay in touch with people. And if you're a little competitive, like I'm going to get my first deal before you, or I'm going to start doing one deal a month before you, or whatever. I mean, without bringing negativity in, if that can be motivating, that's not a bad idea. So a little competitive juices. And I find that when we're looking at acquisitionists, I have a set of 9 C traits that I have identified that you want to look for in an acquisitionist. The first 3 are the most important, and that's confidence. And that's the same. These 3 are the same for you. Confidence, communicator. You're a good communicator. You can talk on the phone. And you're coachable. So you'll follow the scripts basically and follow the steps and not try to make it all up yourself, because then you'll go down a bad path. So if you're those 3 things, but then add on some of these other things like charming and like competitive. Competitive can be a very powerful trait. And so, if you did 5 deals last year, you want to do 10 deals this year. So that's a good trait. And once you get up to that 10 deals a year, which that could be your baseline forever. Listen, if you do 10 deals a year, you're going to do great. You're going to make a ton of money if you're doing these creative financing, pretty house deals that we love to do. So hang in there, do these creative financing deals, get your competitive juices going until you get up to that at least 10 a year. And then try to do 20 a year, but first get that baseline set. Maybe do even, guys, look, if you do 5 your first year, that ain't bad. That shows me that you got the system set up. You've proved the concept that you can do it. You've proved it to yourself and maybe some skeptical people around you. You have a few shut up checks. So 5 in your first year isn't the worst. I know everybody wants to do $1 million their first year. Doesn't always happen that way. And so get in there and just keep plugging away, get your first deal under your belt, and then, compete with yourself. See if I'm going to get a deal this month. I'm going to get another deal this month. And so keep yourself going sometimes, and that competitive juices can help you with that. So long as you don't let them, this is the tricky thing. Competitiveness is a very two-edged sword, because some people can take it too far. We like to watch Survivor. I don't know if you like Survivor, but we enjoy watching Survivor. We never did, and then the kids started watching it. And so maybe about 2 or 3 months ago, we picked it up and started watching Survivor. And, sometimes people get real insanely competitive in these challenges that they do, and it goes over the top and it actually hurts them. So that's where you have to be able to temper that competitive urge, and keep everything pleasant and everything and nice. But let your competitive urge come out to make you go make that next phone call. Even though you're feeling a little nervous, you're going to make that phone call. You're going to go out on that deal meeting, and you're going to get that deal with that competitive edge. Now, remember all these little tasks along the way are really, the whole point is get the deal. Get the deal. Okay. I saw a movie a long time ago that I remember with Val Kilmer in it called Spartan. And he says, he's talking to some other recruit. He's like in the FBI recruiting place. And this woman and he says, what are you teaching? She's another instructor. And she says, I'm teaching knife fighting. And he says, don't teach them knife fighting. Teach them to kill the guy. Because then, somebody else will get taught how to knife fight and they'll come up against your guy and he'll kill him. So that's kind of like, that's a pretty graphic example, but it was from this movie. So your goal is not to be great on the closing call. That will definitely lead to getting that deal, making that kill. But your end goal is not being great on the phone or charming the customer or any of that. Your end goal is get that deal, bring home that pelt. So go out there and get that deal. And sometimes that competitive urge will make you want to get it. And sometimes where your competitive urge works well is when and don't let this discourage you, because sometimes if you're brand new, other people have a huge head start on you. Every once in a while, you'll see people advertise, little local investors put something on TV. We've done that before. And so you'll see a commercial, you'll see somebody on social media, you'll see a lot of people on social media doing things similar to what you're doing. And so maybe, feeling competitive, hey, listen, I'm going to get a deal and, I'm going to have better ads and better, messaging and all that than them. And, so a little bit of that competitiveness is nice, so long as you don't let it make you kind of mad and kind of negative. Keep it positive, but it might urge you to greater action. So that's kind of the beginning of the football season that I saw that was kind of interesting. Now, the other thing I did want to talk about, and this is more solemn, is it's the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and so there's a lot of people that were affected by that all around the country. If you're in that part of the country, we have a lot of students actually in New York and New Jersey and all around there who actually were affected by 9/11. So we just want to take a moment to honor those people that lost their lives and who fought for us. And we've had this 20-year war in Afghanistan, and all the people who worked for the United States and lost their lives or were injured over there too. All these people, let's honor all them and honor their sacrifice for our great country. We have a great country, and there's a lot of fighting about this country right now. And I hope in the long run, everybody can sort of come together. It doesn't seem so. It seems kind of naive to say that, but I hope everybody can look past the differences maybe, because there's so much more. Like football, believe it or not. You go to a football stadium, and hopefully it's not a political thing. Hopefully everybody's really rooting for that team, for the home team. And so we have a lot more that really brings us together than separates us when you really think about it. And so go root for your football team. If you're a football fan, that's exciting. I'm still a Vikings fan. God save me. And we'll see what they do this year. I don't know. And now I live in Arizona, so I do like the Cardinals a lot as well. And so who knows? You never know what can happen. So hopefully your team does good this year. And let's take some deep breaths so we stay in shape like our football players, okay? Let's use our affirmation first. We'll say, I use competitiveness to my advantage, okay? 1, 2, 3. I use competitiveness to my advantage. One more time. I use competitiveness to my advantage. It's kind of a tricky one to say. All right, deep breath. Always smiling. Okay, relax your shoulders and your neck. Another deep breath in. Hopefully you guys are making lots of comments and lots of hearts and that. I forget to ask for that stuff, but I think it helps us. I forget to ask for that stuff. But guys, I'm really here just trying to get you guys positive messaging, things that will propel you forward to make you more motivated and excited to succeed, and also give you great tips on closing deals and share some of our deals too. We always like to talk about some of our deals because there's always lots of lessons to be learned in every deal. Deep breath in. And always with a big smile. And last one. Awesome. All right, great. So have an awesome day, guys. Have a great weekend. Now get out there, Go see some houses. And you know what? If you don't have an appointment for a deal meeting, I want you to go out driving for dollars. Driving for dollars. So get out there and start driving around and looking at houses. And nowadays, I mean, if you've got your phone and you've got Zillow open, you can stop in front of any house and put in that. And some of you guys pay for different services where you can put in an address and find out lots of information. And so get that information, do driving for dollars and see what you can find out there. Maybe you can actually make a deal appointment this weekend for yourself. Or you can always start calling leads off Zillow or call your older leads. Remember, follow-up is a huge thing. And I'll bet you a lot of times you'll find leads that have been a month old or so, or 2 months. Man, that's the good ones. That's the hot sellers who have changed their mind because they didn't sell their house right away. All right, so guys, great. Until I see you next Monday, keep expecting success, getting awesome training here, and taking lots of action. Bye for now.